Last year I was privileged to travel to the States and see John and the World Peace Game in action, and I just fell in love with it. It absolutely resonated with me, and in particular our blueprint for success here at Annesley.
I'm John Hunter. I'm the inventor of the World Peace Game geopolitical simulation. We're ready to start the game? Yeah! All right, this is how we do it. So we built the World Peace Game with our curriculum, the games that they loved, and problem solving all folded in. And we essentially deliberately throw them into chaos. We give them all 50 interlocking world crises at the same time. We ask them to solve them under a time limit. And the facilitator, the teacher, the adult, cannot help them.
It's really good that it's not like lower level problems, it's big real world problems that like the government is dealing with. I think that's pretty awesome. I'd like to think of it as we're actually doing what the government does as children.
They can do anything they want if they can afford to pay for it, if they can deal with the consequences of their choices, and if it makes sense. And the word sense, they have to determine themselves what makes sense. They're not penalized for having a wrong view temporarily. They can try it and see if it works, and if it doesn't, they can adjust. And the learning just exponentially expands because they've got an investment. They have control. They have some desire that they can actually work with their own passion in the learning. And they believe that they're playing, they're having fun, they're doing their own thing. But we know that there's learning inherent in it because we've arranged for that environment to occur.
When adults step back and when children are empowered to take positive action, they do step up.
We've all been trained that in schools, there's someone at the front who knows everything and knows everything that you need to know and will tell you what it is and when you need to know it. But I found that's really not education, and it's certainly not viable today in the 21st century. You know, they've got the sum total of human knowledge in their pocket in their phones. So what do they need me for, you know? And we're trying to sort of blow that model apart and say, you know, you, though you're much shorter than I am, haven't been here as long as I have, you have some inherent wisdom and knowledge I don't have. And once they realize you're offering them that empowerment, control over their own learning destiny, there's no going back.
You learn it in a different way because you're passionate about it, and when you're passionate about what you're learning, you're driven to learn more about it.
What I find challenging is all the paperwork. So there's a lot of paperwork. If you buy something, you actually have to do what you do in real life.
You always have to have your crisis document open because you have to constantly look through what ones you mainly need to solve.
The game is designed to massively fail completely. Life, as a part of it, it has failure, it has success, but we don't train for failure, we train for success only. And so the practice of going through these difficult situations, being fully human in the process, and coming through the other side in a safe way, they can essentially practice how to live. And maybe even they develop an attitude that things are going to be all right in life. No matter the difficulty, ultimately, they can get through. They cannot do it individually. They learn very quickly after their initial despair of failing. They learn that I must reach out to others, that others are essential to my survival. And so it's a natural arising of collaboration and compassion, really, without me having to teach it.
Could I say that I'm kind of worried that we might be the first people in 41 years to not win the game? Because that's what I am worried about.
Yeah, very.
Watching them find those hard spots and see them come out of that in their own little way. Sometimes it's taken time, so watching that happen day by day has been unreal.
I actually enjoy being challenged, and I am being challenged, definitely.
Ella and I have figured out an amazing way to solve all the crises like that.
You know, they're relying upon each other to achieve success. And I think that's one of the great messages of the World Peace Game, is that it's not about you as an individual coming up with a peaceful solution. It's about you collaborating with your colleagues, your fellow diplomats, to come up with solutions to very complex problems. And they do it because they do have to rely upon one another in the process.
As John says, it's not actually about the game, it's about creating that ecosystem for learning, real learning. He says real learning is compassion and recognising that that's the focus.
In view of all crises being solved, and in view of all countries' budgets being above their starting point, we hereby declare this World Peace Game won!
I
know that every single person that plays the game will most definitely probably change to be a better human, and we're gonna learn to collaborate better.
And I'm not an emotional guy normally, but at the end of the World Peace Game that I observed, I was really touched at a deeper level around seeing the impact that the game had had on children.